If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome to the Superhero Homies podcast, the Jurassic World edition. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with the homie Kevin.
Hey, good evening, guys. It is a little late, but nonetheless, we just finished watching Jurassic World, so classic, of course it's going to be late. But we had to come and present this movie to you guys nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah, so this is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom we just watched.
Right.
Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. The first half is spoiler-free, so if you guys are maybe freaking out about spoilers in this section...
Same rules as always.
Yep,
we good.
Yep. So if you're a new listener, then, for the first half, it's going to be spoiler-free, no spoilers or anything. The second half is going to be spoiler-filled. Mm-hmm. However, the second half is for Patreon members only, so if you're interested in the spoiler-filled section, where we go a little bit more in-depth, then just go to patreon.com/superherohomies and you'll be able to find us there.
Oh, yeah. Especially good for making sure that, we can definitely flesh out some of the things that were good, some of the things that were bad, and see if you agree with us and whatnot.
Right.
Yep.
And just for $1. So that is us self-advertising. So, yeah, we just walked out of the theater, just saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So the last Jurassic World, Kevin, really quick, was actually it was like in the top 5 highest grossing movies domestically ever. Like, that shit made money.
Yeah, people were ready for it to come back to life, you know?
It had been a long time. I mean, the last one we got before Jurassic World in 2015 was Jurassic Park 3, which...
Yeah, a lot of people kind of decided that did leave a sour taste in the mouth. It wasn't great.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the way I look at it, honestly, like, the first one, in my opinion, is the only great one.
Right.
Like, that one, and it's not just because it's the original. No, it's because it's really just a great movie.
It honestly was a great movie. Yeah, they went for...
Referring to the original Jurassic Park, yeah.
Yes.
In my opinion, the OG Jurassic Park was a great movie. Still is a great movie. Mm-hmm. And then the second one was okay. I thought it was, good or at best
classic
decent.
Sequel syndrome there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then the third one was kind of a wreck.
Yeah.
And then, they waited quite some time and then they did Jurassic World. That came out in 2015. And they did a lot of things really well with Jurassic World.
Agreed. We
were not podcasting at that time, so we weren't able to, review that one with like a fresh breath of light. But we did have our thoughts on the original Jurassic World, the one that came out 3 years ago.
Definitely, yeah, and I'm fairly certain that's something we've even talked about.
Yeah.
Just in loose conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So. I guess I will say this, guys, just to kick off the review here for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I'm going to kick off with a little bit of vague good news and bad news.
Okay.
And I'm going to start with the bad. The bad news is this movie is full of classic tropes, cliches, and movie stereotypes. The good news is that some of it does land, even though it is extremely cliche.
And I will sprinkle some more good news on top of that. I did find, in my own personal interpretation, that they did certain things which were original, which were actually pretty okay, though that list may be far and few between and hard to decipher, because you will recognize a commonality, a trope here, a niche there, and that's to be expected now. But nonetheless, the movie is what it is.
Right. I found this movie to be honestly a little contrived and honestly, in my opinion, lacking a little bit in creativity.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, it's like I found that When I say the first one, I'm referring to the 2015 Jurassic World.
The first world. Yeah. Oh, that's even worse.
Right. I found that one that came out in 2015 to be refreshing, even though it had some of the same problems as the sequel. It wasn't as many. And I think maybe in the one that came out 3 years ago, those problems were a little easier to overlook because we were so ready for a new Jurassic World.
Right. I mean, it was received so well that people willingly ignored certain things. You know, and yeah, I remember a few things I made fun of. Like, I made a joke at the beginning of the movie about, I wonder if she's going to wear heels the whole time here as well, you know. That's something they quickly resolve in this movie.
Right.
You know, so check.
Yeah, yeah, because that was just one of those little goofy things that made no sense. But fortunately, Bryce Dallas Howard, of course, obviously she's back, and she's not wearing heels. Spoiler alert:
she actually has combat boots.
Right, she does. Yeah, like they definitely remedy that. Yeah, for sure.
And did you catch the same vibe I did? Like whenever they blatantly showed it to us, just like, boom, you see it, it's there, deal with it type thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Chris Pratt and his performance here, I thought that the performances this time around, to me, I'm not going to say that they weren't strong or crisp, but I don't know, it didn't have the same energy to me.
No, I felt that there was... And this is my interpretation again, folks. So, buckle your damn seatbelts. But honestly, man, I kind of felt like there was less energy put into the characters, and they were given more free reign with it. And you can kind of feel some of Chris Pratt's natural energy and natural charisma kind of leak through into the character in certain scenes, And I'll talk about my examples in a few minutes here. Yeah. But
I got to be honest, like the character of Owen in both the original Jurassic World and this Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the character of Owen has always just kind of seemed like Chris Pratt if he were a dinosaur trainer,
or if he was permanently more badass than and less of a really just fun cool guy to be with,
Right. Yeah. I mean, so it just seemed like a branch of Chris Pratt. Like that's the character itself.
And the problem is that you want to like him so much, and it's easy to do so. He's Chris Pratt, dadgummit. But he is the vehicle for a number of these tropes. He and a few other characters that we see often, and it's less refreshing than you'd think it'd be.
It is, because in this movie, it really seems like they don't play off the strengths of the character personalities that much.
They don't.
Because, as we were just talking about the original Jurassic Park, like the one that came out back in 1993, the one that we all know and love, one of the strong suits to that wasn't just the amazing animatronics and, the cool looking dinosaurs, but that was, a really great part, and of course the driving force, but the characters, the human characters themselves were all really fantastically done. Like all of them.
All of them, yeah.
But, here in this movie, it's like, not even all of our main protagonists hold strong.
No, they really don't. Like, you can almost say... Okay, you know what? I'm going to describe it like this. So, take this story and imagine it like a box, right? And your characters are different items in this box. You could literally put these characters into other boxes, in other words, other stories, and they'd still fit the bill. It's like, just... Give me something more than this is my badass, this is my tracker, this is my, dickbag so-and-so, this is my hot chick that everyone needs to like. Right. Come on.
Exactly.
I want meat.
They have personality traits instead of characters in this movie. And that's kind of a drawback.
Right. They have their roles, their cards, and that's...
And in certain scenes, it works, but then you kind of see these characters morph into what the plot needs them to be.
Right.
And that's another... It's just I don't want to call it lazy writing, but I don't know what else to call it in that regard.
No, it really is... Well, okay, I'll say this. I'll defend it while attacking it. So get ready for this. Get ready for this crap here. So, in part, I believe it is lazy writing, and we can chalk it up to that, sure. Simple said, simple done. But I think it's a deeper problem, too. I think it's writers knowing that their watchers are going to be content with this content. They're going to be the writers in this case, thinking to themselves with each other out loud, okay, the people watching this, the audience members, they're okay with this mediocre, shallow material. We don't need to make this complex. We don't need to make it real. We just need to make it fill up the time frame so we can make money off this, you know? And I think it dives into something as deep as that, you know? Just make a movie out of it, damn it. Don't tell them a story.
You're probably onto something. It makes a lot of sense. In an unfortunate manner.
It is unfortunate, you know, and that's what I was speaking with you earlier about off mic, like a little frustration, a little bit there. Because when you see evidences of that, it's like, well, what do you expect so little of your audience, you know? Do you think I hope you don't think them so dumb, you know?
Right.
I mean,
you know, it's like, and I guess the reason why I was disappointed in this movie is because they gave us. You know, with Jurassic Park 1, the original, that showed us that this movie, that, you know, the series doesn't have to rely on just the dinosaurs, but that the dinosaurs, the plot, and the characters can all coexist and carry the movie.
Right.
And then Jurassic World that came out in 2015, it didn't quite live up to Jurassic Park, but it showed potential.
Exactly.
It showed signs of life that this series could be ongoing and thrive.
Yeah. I mean, they even had cooler, newer tools in the tool bag, and they used them, you know? We didn't have to rely on animatronics anymore. We had computers and digital technology.
Yeah, but most of them were animatronics in this one, actually. That's what they were boasting.
Okay, that's cool, too, you know? But they were able to beef that up as well with computers and making them look and seem so much more real here, too, you know? And that's cool, but it's almost like you're over-relying on this. You can't use a hammer for everything when you're building a house.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, like this is a movie that we've all seen before. So guys, like honestly, whether or not you've actually seen the movie at this point, you have actually seen this movie. And it just goes back to those classic movie tropes. Like if you name it, you know, then it's in this type of movie. And like honestly, I wouldn't be so severe on this movie had the entire Jurassic series been this subpar. But because we know that this series has shown evidence to have to be a strong franchise,
right?
You know, now I have to kind of rip into it just because I know that it can be so much better. Because we've seen it better.
Yes, Jurassic Park. I mean, don't assume me wrong, please, by saying this, but I'm going to give it a cult classic title.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah,
undoubtedly.
You know, so you kind of have a responsibility at this point whenever you're trying to make, you know, a sibling or an offspring of this amazing predecessor to at least try to be an amazing offspring as well. You know, to be something equal. If not try to be greater, you know? Don't, you know, just feed us cannon fodder and say we're okay with this because it has the Jurassic name on it.
Yeah. It does take more than just the Jurassic title and Chris Pratt to get us through.
Though people are happy with Chris Pratt, he's still cool.
Oh yeah, well, most definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some parts of the movie where he seemed a little contrived, where Bryce Dallas Howard seemed a little contrived, and there were moments where the other characters that I honestly can't name felt a little contrived.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. And there are certain parts that pissed me off too, but we don't get to hear about that right now.
Right. And so now that we were able to get out some of our frustrations or venting on the movie, I do want to go back to some good stuff because, guys, I don't want you guys to think that this movie is complete and utter garbage.
No. There were certain things, like I did say earlier, there were certain moments in the movie where there was some pretty cool stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, this moment right here. Freeze frame the movie, everyone shut the hell up and keep doing this. Right. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, of course, this isn't anything spoiling, but I felt that they were definitely onto something on a morality type level towards the end of the movie. And then, to me, they almost immediately ruined it with something that felt contrived. So like, they were on the verge of doing something that was not only heartwarming, but it was also, you know, like playing a Telltale video game, decision time, like what's the right decision to make morally, and that I thought was great. But then they went and they kind of, shat themselves.
Yeah,
by really making it feeling a little contrived.
I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about. It's hard to not know in this case, but to be continued.
Right. But no, so I did. I mean, you can definitely tell what they put their focus on in this movie, and what they put their focus on succeeded. Like, they put their focus on the dinosaurs and on how these creatures look and interact, and that was really well done.
I mean, aesthetically, all these dinosaurs came off super well, dude.
Right.
I mean, I even felt like they reacted like, a dinosaur of that habitation would react, like
right.
The carnivore was more ferocious and aggressive in movement, whereas the herbivore and like all the more quote unquote friendly dinosaurs, if such a thing exists.
I don't think so.
Exactly, no, me neither. But hey, Jurassic Park made me think so.
Right.
But yeah, no, all the more friendly models of dinosaurs were, more just softer and slower and like suave in movement and stuff like that, and just like, oh, I'm gonna eat this leaf over here, munch,
right?
Less just jerking around all the time, like I'm looking for something to kill, Yeah. So yeah, you're right. It looked great.
It did. It looked great, and like you said, I really liked the behavior patterns of the dinosaurs. I thought that was a lot of fun too. Like you said, I also thought that they were really ferocious when they needed to be, and then also, I guess, a little bit more docile or curious. When it's what you would expect from certain types of dinosaurs, as far as we know the behavior patterns.
As far as we understand, yeah.
Right. I mean, because believe it or not, guys, Kevin and I, we are not paleontologists.
I was just about to make that joke.
Yeah, I mean, we are archaeologists and geologists and meteorologists, and we are other ologists as well. We're
exactly.
We're oncologists.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me, we're due at the Temple of Doom tomorrow. Okay.
I told them that there's no way to fix the giant falling boulder, but all right.
I mean, they don't listen, man. They didn't listen last time. Get your brown hat.
Oh shit! But no, the dinosaurs really were a lot of fun here, and I will say this also: the dinosaurs were kind of like the premier driving force also for Jurassic World, the 2015 one, and they definitely knew that, and so they were like, okay, how do we take that same formula and then completely rehash it and make people think it's something different? Because that's essentially what's happening here. If you look at the plot for Jurassic World, and then look at the plot for Fallen Kingdom, and then like put the two side by side, you realize that you're dealing with almost the same shit. As far as like the plot devices and beats go, there are a few small differing branches that kind of stick out.
It didn't take long for us to bend back into.
Well, I'm not done with the good yet, but
true.
It's just because the good in Jurassic World, they took that and used it in Fallen Kingdom, and that good being the strength of the dinosaurs. But they also felt like they used that almost as a crutch in this sequel.
Oh, there's no almost about it. It definitely is a crutch. In fact, they use it as a wheelchair,
right,
but they're capable of walking.
Yeah. So it's like this, guys. If you listen to our review of Deadpool 2, like my overall feelings on Deadpool 2 was that it was just as good as the original, not any better or any worse, because it didn't do anything better that would overall improve the quality of the Deadpool series. And with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, is almost the same thing, except they almost take a step backwards in terms of plot telling qualities. So they continue to amp it up with,
the almost is unnecessary. They did. They took a step backwards.
Oh man. But no.
Truth.
So yeah. I mean, we do get, I think, a little bit more action, a lot more action overall.
Yeah.
In this movie for sure.
There were some cool action points, and some of those were okay. This is interesting. Like, I had more fun imagining, like, what the hell would I do in this situation? I wouldn't put myself in this situation. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
And like the comedic moments in this movie, I thought were good because they were never placed at an inappropriate time. There was never like a comedic moment placed where they shouldn't have been.
I have to think back on it because
that's a pet peeve of mine.
Oh yeah, no, I know that's a pet peeve of yours. Yeah, like, I mean, after other movies of the past, yeah, me too. Yeah.
Jeez, other Chris Pratt movies actually.
Son of a bitch. There's a pattern here.
Yep. But no, I love Guardians 1. It's the truth. I did.
It is the truth.
Yep. But no, so I really think that, like really as far as the strengths go, man, like they just went all in on the creativity that they can do with the dinosaurs. And as far as, like our main characters go,
no, they stopped putting coal into that fire.
Right. Like, because they didn't get a whole lot of character progression like you'd imagine they would.
No.
Or should.
And you know what? There are still questions I have, which I just realized which half of the podcast we're on, so I'm going to shut up. But about certain characters, and it's throughout the movie. It's not at a certain point. It's literally... I have questions about the entire characters on the entire base of what we just saw.
Right.
Things that I wish were actually given to us.
Yeah. So, you know what? While we're here, as much as we can, let's try to briskly talk about some of these newer characters.
That's a good idea. So we had...
So here's the thing, guys. This is where we're going to get really fun here because Kevin and I'm just going to go ahead and throw Kevin in this too.
I know what we're about to play.
We don't know hardly anyone's name.
Nope.
I know that Chris Pratt is Owen.
Yes. Chris Pratt's Owen.
Who was Bryce?
Redhead was Claire.
Okay, so Bryce Dallas Howard is Claire. Okay, so we know Owen and Claire. Who else you got? What other names do we know?
Okay. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I'm cool. I got this. So we had the little girl.
Yep. There's a new character. Her name started with the M.
Exactly. Yeah. Maya, Maisie. Macy.
I think it was Macy.
I've heard it pronounced Maisie in the movie too, though. So it's like that's weird, but I'm pretty sure it's Macy.
Maybe so.
Okay. So
I think her name is Macy. For the fun of it, I was going to call her McGillicuddy. Just because.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Could you say that again, please?
Yes, I said McGillicuddy. Her name is McGillicuddy.
McGillicuddy.
Yep. But no, I think it was like Maisie or Macy, like you said. And she's a new character they were introduced to. I really do like this actress, this child actress. I think that she played the role exactly the way that she was told to, and you really tell that this kid has a lot of strong acting chops.
Yeah.
However,
they just didn't give her anything.
Well, that's the thing because she had a good bit of screen time.
Oh no, they gave her a lot of screen time. It's hard to say, really.
Well,
right,
because
right
what I will say is that if you remember way back when Stranger Things first came out,
okay,
I was hesitant to watch it just because I get so tired of seeing kids placed in these positions where they do shit that just doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Like I get tired of seeing kids on TV being portrayed as these extremely clever and intelligent
sure,
people
these unreal children,
right, that can always outsmart the adults, and it's not cool or cute in the Home Alone sense. It's just contrived.
No. We make fun of that so much.
Well, we do because it's a shitty trope to rely on.
Right.
But Stranger Things did it perfectly. The creators for that show really nailed like the dynamics of the children. Same thing with the new It movie. The children in that were really well done. Unfortunately for this movie, this wasn't a movie about little Macy, so therefore the writing wasn't tailored towards writing for a strong child character.
Right, and you could feel that because, again, opinion time. There are parts of the movie where I feel like it was going steadfast. Like, okay, I like what Macy's been giving here. Like, this is cool, good stuff. But you can definitely tell when things very quickly turn.
Right.
And you're just like, oh shit, no, come back. You don't get off the beaten path. Yeah.
There were moments where she would go from being like this extremely, almost eye-rolling, clever little girl that just knew, how to do this and what to do in this situation.
Yeah.
And then in the moment immediately following that, she would do something that only like the dumbest of little kids would do.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like you have to pick a lane. Like, which one are you?
Exactly. You can't have intelligence come in and out. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. Are you drunk? Then it might work like that. What's another new character?
So what about the two side characters that we see with Owen and Claire?
There's
Drake. I call him Drake because it was just like Drake from his Degrassi days.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay.
So we got
whomever that is.
Computer Wizard Drake.
Computer Wizard Techie.
Yep.
And then we had cute doctor with tattoos on right arm.
Who looked like she was maybe 22. Like the youngest doctor I have ever seen.
I know, right? Like, you're a doctor?
And then what was even more asinine, and you know what? I'm not even going to go into that here. But just like her profession as a whole, like how?
It's like, I'm sorry. How much of a joke are you? Really? Like, how many people have been able to laugh at your choice of career path here?
It's not even that. It's like, how do you do your job? How do you say that you have your job title when, like, how often do you get to perform your job?
That too. That's a clever way of looking at it because, so what you get. It's hard to talk about right now. We'll make fun of it in a minute. But
but these two characters, I thought, just like little Macy, had potential because I thought that the actors were actually really good for the roles.
Yeah,
I really actually enjoyed most of the actors in this movie. But however, these two side characters, little computer Drake and young doctor
and hot doctor,
Dr. Dinosaur, as I'll call her.
Oh, good nickname, good nickname.
Yeah,
Dr. Dinosaur, Dr. Dino.
They were one note characters, and that note hit at certain points throughout the film. But then there were other moments where you could tell once again the writing got in the way, and they didn't know how to make these multifaceted characters.
Honestly, and this is my own personal problem at this point. That note hit less often for me. There were certain points where I was like, okay, this is what I'm being given. Cool, let's see what happens with it. Okay, I'm already tired of this.
Right.
It's like they gave me olives, Q. I hate olives. I don't do olives.
I got you. And see, I love olives. So there you have it.
But they only gave you olives for like, how long was the movie? Let's pretend a week in this metaphor.
2 hours? Almost for a week, man. Ooh.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anything for a week is almost ooh.
Oh, true. Also, yes, grilled chicken. But
that's already a reality.
But
anywho. Yeah. So
any others? Oh wait, yeah, duh.
There's the
which are we talking about?
So we can go ahead.
Which white douchebag or?
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to call him a douchebag in this section.
Well,
just because you see it coming from a mile away, but there is, but it's the movie's attempt at almost a twist.
The only reason I say that in the first scene, I still didn't like him.
Oh yeah, me either. Yeah. Because they tried way too hard to make him this likable, charismatic character.
It came off Can I talk about this yet? Because the floodgates are breaking, man. There's only so much pressure they can take.
Yeah.
How do you rebuild the gate?
Right.
There's already water on the other side.
Yeah.
But anywho, I'll shut up. Anyone else? What's going on?
Well, I will say this, like as far as like the, because the way I look at it, the movie kind of has two antagonists, and both antagonists are also still pretty one note.
I'm curious as to listen to your translation of the antagonists here because I can. And this is me overthinking again, but I can definitely imagine two different sets of antagonists you're about to tell me about, and we'll build upon that in a second, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I don't know. To me, it seems pretty obvious, like who the two antagonists were. And then there's other side characters. Like for example, this isn't so much of a spoiler, but Arnim Zola is in the movie. And then for those of you who know and love your Captain America, Arnim Zola, is the character that was the Red Skull's right hand man.
But he's not a computer now.
Yeah, he is no longer a computer.
He got restored pretty damn well.
And also, B.D. Wong is continuing his stretch of time of being like the one continuing character from Jurassic Park to Jurassic World.
Basically,
so B.D. Wong is back, and I think by now that they would give B.D. Wong more screen time because B.D. Wong is probably one of the best actors in the franchise.
Yep.
However, I mean, if you're looking for more B.D. Wong here, people, they really don't give us a lot. I mean, it's arguably even less of him here than there was in Jurassic World.
Is it arguable though?
I haven't seen Jurassic World in quite some time, so
nah, dude. I mean, it's less arguable because I can count on one hand how many scenes we see our gentleman Wong in. And I know already. I can think of more than one hand of scenes our boy was in the first movie.
Yeah, and without spoiling,
but that doesn't say a lot either.
Yeah, you're right. I will say this though, without spoiling anything, B.D. Wong isn't the only character that you hope to see more of, but you don't. And we'll definitely nail that home in the spoiler filled section. Speaking of which, we're about 30 minutes into this, so I guess we can go ahead and start wrapping up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and doing our thing here, man.
Yeah. So I will say this also, and damn it, I hate just spewing negativity out.
Are we about to do it again?
Well, no, I was just thinking about other aspects of the movie.
Oh, okay,
and one other aspect is the score. They still don't do the score all that well. Because with Jurassic Park, that score, man, should make your skin chill in good ways.
Like, it should make you sit on the edge of your seat thinking that you're arriving in the safari, like, looking upon the long-ass neck of, the
Brontosaurus.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a surprise. Damn, good job. Or you're about to, encounter some...
I am actually a paleontologist.
Oh, wow. Oh. You've been studying on the side. Oh, I mean, it should make you feel like you're in the park,
right?
But
yeah. I will also say this, and this has been one constant throughout the entire Jurassic franchise.
Sure,
it's that I love the T-Rex. The T-Rex obviously isn't the same T-Rex from the first Jurassic Park. That would be an old ass T-Rex.
He'd be coming in on a cane, man. A long cane.
It'd be a long cane with those nubby ass arms. But if you guys remember, the T-Rex was like the standout in Jurassic Park. The T-Rex saved the day in Jurassic World. He had to put them little tiny nub hands to the Indominus Rex. He was like, nah, bro, I'm the king of this bitch. But no, so we do see T-Rex again. He doesn't have that dominant role, unfortunately, like he has in movies past, and that's made way for another creature that we'll talk about later on.
Indeed.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I guess we'll go ahead and give our final thoughts on the movie and wrap it up. I will say this, another positive. I thought the movie was pretty well paced. Like they didn't linger too long.
That's true.
Yeah, on any certain thing. So they were able to and whether it was good or bad, tell us what they wanted to tell us, and then keep the plot moving forward. Yeah. So there was no stalling.
Right. And I will say this though, and I'm emphasizing this again: the surprises that do come at you are good for this story. So whenever they hit you, it is a little bit of a pleasant burst. Like, oh, okay. I see what you're doing here finally. Okay, cool. So there are juicy moments in this, worthwhile ones too. And they come. You have to sit and watch for it, but they're there. You just need to pay attention. Yeah.
Yeah. With all that being said, guys, they do some things really well, mostly being the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Mostly the dinosaurs. And the actors did a great job with the roles on the card they were given.
Except sometimes some of the performances felt almost a little phoned in to me.
Well, yeah. And we did talk about
Yeah.
That's so...
But, I mean, overall, guys, I gotta say, I gotta give this movie a 6.4 score rating. Like, to me, it was a really fun movie to watch, and I thought that, you know, the action is really fun, cool, and exciting to see.
Sure.
But if you're looking for that storytelling movie that really gripped you the same way that the OG Jurassic Park did, or if you're looking for something that can live up to the Jurassic World that came out 3 years ago, it still misses the mark. And I think it's just a victim of them trying to build off of its predecessors versus trying to stand on its own two legs.
Exactly. You're a little kinder than I was going to be,
Ooh,
honestly.
shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, not dramatically so,
Okay.
but definitely you're kinder. I always go with the first number that I think of when approaching the question, what's my rating? 6. Just a purebred 6. No buffers, no bullshit. Just I enjoyed watching it this time. I will not watch it again.
Damn.
You know, like if I have to later on for the sake of the podcast, for the sake of the homies, or if a challenge is presented to me, like, oh wait, Kevin, but did you notice this and this and this? Okay, is there actual footing for your evidence? Oh, well, let me check it out. Then I'll watch it. Then, if for some weird, awful reason you came to me tomorrow and magically presented this DVD, I would say no. Let's watch something else. Let's put it in a Batman movie. Come on, man.
Well, then you know that I go with the Batman movie.
Exactly. That's why I suggested that.
I will say this, guys. They do some clever stuff at the end. I will say this. You know, like after the big climactic battles and all this and that, once the smoke kind of settles, they do leave us a really cool open-ended ending. And so there's definitely room in the future for more material, for more movies, which can be good or bad. And I give them the benefit of the doubt and say that it's going to be for the good, that they can try to redeem themselves a little bit more in the future. So, I mean, I did like, you know, the final moments of the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this spoiler-free review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, for those of you who are willing to journey with us deep into the depths of the dark and dreary dinosaur land, then you can...
That was good alliteration.
Thank you.
Shit. Applause. Well done.
Then you can join us on the Patreon side of things. And if you guys want to get the spoiler-free section and take you know, that journey with us, then just go to patreon.com/superhero homies and you'll be able to see our page right there. For just $1 a month, you'll get the spoiler-filled section for this podcast and every other movie review that we do. So if you guys want to get that, then for sure check that out. But yeah, that's going to be it for now, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you guys on the other side.
Hell yeah.